live. Hey folks, this is RotorStorm331. Later on today we're going to be doing the Fort Job Fiesta geyser run as promised, but I'm not going to be able to do it around 3 p.m. today because around 5 I'll be going to my sister's house along with my dad to have dinner with them. So I'll probably be starting today's stream around 7. It's going to be a 3-hour stream for Fort Job Fiesta. And we're going to be hopefully have a good run this time around. We might be checking the other 2 runs during the Fiesta, so we'll hopefully get some more of that out of the way as time progresses. But anyway, before we get to that part, of course, we do need to get some guides out of the way for Ys VIII. We did one for the ore farming at Baja Tower not too long ago, so now we're going to be covering the skill guide, which is basically going over the mechanics of the skill system for Ys VIII. Keep in mind, this guide is meant to help beginners or anyone that's getting into Ys VIII that wants to learn as much of the skill system as much as possible. This is going to be an intro into this, and if you enjoy this content that I put out, as well as speedruns and anything else I put out on both Twitch and YouTube, feel free to sub on my YouTube, as well as follow or sub on my Twitch channel as well. Those will help me out help me put better content and anything else out and about. So anyway, we're going to get started in this next part of the project of Ys VIII guides. So we're going to go over the skill guides right now. So for those of you that have played the recent remake of Ys IV, which is Revelations of Salceda, that game actually introduced the skill system. So skill systems, as you'll see right here, are basically martial arts skills and powers and abilities that each of the party members in the Ys games that allows those skills to be used to combat monsters. So basically every character has a rough number of skills that they learn during the course of the game. Now, what's interesting is that you do learn these on level up, but they won't become available immediately. So basically, from what I looked up on researching online and all that, you have to fight enemies that are either equal to your character's level or several levels above your character's level in order to spark them. So they can spark during your regular attacks or even during your own skill usages. But that's how you basically unlock skills. So those skills won't be available immediately once you get the level required for it. They will eventually spark, and even your AI allies will be able to spark those skills on their own as well. Now, the only skills that your party members will get, but are not learned by level up, are skills that are required from manuals, and skills that you get learned from battling Master Kong after you trigger the side quest for Rakota once he joins up for Castaway Village. So each party member has about at least a good chunk of skills, and they all have different effects. So some of these effects allow you to do a number of things, like with Sonic's slide here, Adol can basically move forward a bit while performing an attack that hits all the enemies in front of him. Then you have Sword Impact right here, which allows him to attack enemies, which I consider to be called a proximity skill, because enemies within your hit range of this attack will allow you to hit any enemy in your area. This one right here is a projectile skill, and basically these attacks allow you to basically attack enemies from afar, and that'll help you. And then there's launcher skills, which is like Rising Slash. This allows you to lift enemies, as well as attack any enemies that are airborne or below your elevation. So if they're on a higher elevation, you can hit that with a launcher skill. Technically, launcher skills are pretty much needed for basically to set up the air combos / finish, and that's how you're going to rack up more XP. So if you've seen any of those combo videos for the game, it's just basically showing you how to use certain skills at rapid pace to basically rack up enough damage on an enemy to take them out while they're in the air, so you can get a lot more experience. So each character has different strike ranges with their skills. Some of these are actually movement skills, like the Sonic Slide. And then, of course, there's other skills, which allow you to lift enemies into the air, like Aerial Spin and Tornado Blade. There's also Force Edge, which hits enemies in a fan range or in a V fashion. There's also skills that hit enemies on a line. And then there's also some skills that will let you basically perform projectiles after a certain attack by various means. In fact, most of them are either one fight single targets, or others can be used to attack mobile enemies. So basically, each character does learn a variety of skills. Now, some characters like Loxia prioritize single targets, but some of their attacks do allow her to attack mobile enemies thanks to the range that they give you, like Wake Up and Lethal Raid, which acts as a proximity attack skill, just to name quite a few. Whereas some characters like Sahad here can basically hit enemies pretty much with a variety of range, but they don't really target a whole lot of single targets instead. And every character has a different playstyle in general. Some are going to be power-based fighters, others are going to be more defensive, trickier skills, etc. But at the end of the day, all of them will be very useful, and you're going to be using them one way or the other. So now that we've gone over what kinds of skills players can learn, one thing to keep in mind is that even though all these skills are maxed out, when you do get skills in this game, you will have an experience bar that indicates the next level. Just like your characters gain level ups by accumulating experience, your skills get a lot more better when they level up to 3. So your skills will start off at level 1, then it goes to level 2, and then to level 3 at max. So basically, when you level up your skills, your skill effects change. Like, for instance, most of the time it'll improve your attack range or even your radius of your attack or even the strike of your slash or swing. And in some cases, when you master certain skills, you also gain the ability to inflict status elements on enemies, depending on with certain characters. Loxia can basically inflict paralysis thanks to her Eagle Fencer and Stun thrusts. Characters like Rakota right here can inflict poison with the maxed out handmade trap, and you can also utilize have her inflict burn with flame swing and triple bang. And of course, Donna also has the ability to inflict freeze with certain skills, like her elemental shot for one thing. She can also use Ice Age and Water Burst to do just that as well. So in other words, mastering out certain skills will also give you certain bonuses like inflicting status elements. Certain attacks like Adel's Blade Rush, which is normally a one-hit attack when mastered, and unleashes a shockwave that can be used to hit any enemies near Adel from the target he's fighting. So if there's another enemy coming at you and you're fighting one, and they're right near the opponent when you finish the last hit, the shockwave will hit the enemy. So in other words, certain abilities will get you certain added effects added to it. Force Edge, for another example, also allows you to basically throw the blade swing right around Adel instead of being thrown right in front of it. So, but that only applies on mastery. So basically, there are a number of huge perks to mastering skills. One thing to keep in mind is that when you're building up C power based skills, you'll start off at 212 skill XP, whereas you'll need 500 skill XP to master these types of skills. For B power based skills, you'll start off at 184 to get to level 2, and then 400 SP skills to XP to get your to master your B rank skills. And anything with an A power rank will require usually 140 skill XP, whereas 180 SP skills are is needed to master these skills. So basically, anything A power ranked skills will be mastered pretty quickly, whereas it'll take quite a long time to build up your B and A rank skills. But then again, part of it is due to the fact that the skills are a lot more cheaper in comparison to your A rank ones, which are more expensive. And of course, each character also has their own exclusive extra skill. And each character does it a little bit differently. Some deal more damage, others can be used to hit mobile enemies. Hummels is pretty unique because he can unleash mobile homing shots. Rakotos has probably the longest E skill when triggered. And of course, you got Donna who can use both a mix of slashes and essence attacks. So basically, it's always a good idea to build up your skills because they're always going to be very useful, and you're going to be using them throughout the entire game. EX skills, thankfully, don't require any leveling up on their skills. You should always save those skills when you're in a pinch or fighting bosses, or if you want to apply as much damage as much as possible on the target. So basically, now that we've gone over the pop. Oh yeah, wait a minute. What am I talking about? We're not done here yet. But anyway, in addition to the skills, you also have three rankings for your skills. These are your powers, the skills attack power, the skills ability to stun enemies, and the skills ability to inflict break on targets. So basically, power, of course, indicates the type of damage you inflict on enemies. This is very important because it also determines how much damage you can inflict on enemies. Sometimes they'll have a plus indicated it's a lot more stronger than your standard rank, and then there's times where you'll get two pluses, which indicates it's way stronger than a single plus. And then on rare occasions, you might get one with triple plus, but that's very rare. Now, with stun and break, those are the only stats that only apply have a D or an S rank. So for some characters, they'll have like Loxia, she'll have a double S on her Needle Break, which makes her an excellent breaker on flying enemies. But some characters will have a D rank on certain skills. Now, of course, you won't see that with a whole lot of characters, but some of them do have D rank on there on certain skills. D, of course, is probably the lowest, so that doesn't do a whole lot. That could be said about the same thing with stun. S, of course, is probably the best. And of course, power does not get included into D or S. But just as a friendly reminder, your double pluses are actually way stronger than your pluses, and a plus will be stronger than your singular ranking. So I'm gonna go ahead and burn out the SP, to get it to half of where it is. So anyway, the glow you just see is the indicator that your character is ready for a charge attack. So to go over charge attacks, we'll go right into the field. So basically, when you do a charge attack on enemies, you'll get your SP back. So we're going to be covering how to recover your SP now. So basically, when you do a charge attack, it restores pretty much depending on how much SP you have. So in this case, I have a 200, so I was able to restore all of my SP with one charge strike. Now, one thing to keep in mind about playing Donna in the past with our Luminous style is that even if she does a full charge attack on an enemy, she won't get a whole lot of SP back. Now, technically, you can always use the charge attack to refill your SP. That's always very nice. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that when you're doing well, actually, I was going to say that also affects your guard, but if you do not want to be holding down the skill button, which is R on the Switch version. By the way, this is if you're I'm playing this on the Switch version, but if you're playing this can also be applied to both PSP, PS4, and PS5 as well. So feel free to use that if you're playing those systems. But technically, you cannot do flash guard while you're holding down the skill button, and you want to make sure you have that off after you do that. So if you have an enemy coming right at you and you're doing the skill, you won't be able to get a whole lot of skill back. When you defeat enemies, you'll get half of your SP back that you use for the skill. So when you defeat enemies with Sonic Slide, you'll get 5 SP back from the 10 you used. Now, of course, you can always do regular attacks, but you won't get a whole lot of SP back. You get a little bit of it, but not a whole lot. So in other words, if you want to recover your SP pretty quickly, you always want to use full charge attacks. So once that glow dissipates after your character's done glowing, you'll be able to start another charge attack. Now these right here, you can always refill your SP, and this should have the same effect as when you hit it with a charge attack. I could be wrong, of course. But anyway, that's how you get your SP recharged. Now there are a couple of ways you can replenish your SP without having to go into battle or hit those flowers. So we're going back to the camp here, and we're going to show you certain dishes where you can use to cook. So once you get certain recipes, check what each dish does. Some of them, like the hearty ratatouille, And the Heartfelt Balancier will give you SP regen, which slowly recovers your SP during combat. So this is very good if you're very heavily into executing your skills. So these are the only two dishes you will get during the course of the game. So once you have the recipes for them, you'll be able to cook. Another way to replenish your SP, of course, is to rest in Adult's Hammock or the clinic bed at Castaway Village. And you can also use these camps, the tents you set up, to also replenish your SP too. So basically, if you're struggling to build up your skills, you can always use camps to do this. That way, you don't have to worry about performing, having to go out to the field and try to burn out your SP and skills leveling up. And that way, you can just perform your skills. And once you've used up all of them, you can just simply go back to your go back to the tent and heal up after that. So basically, it's a very cool trick. So it's very useful if you don't want to overlevel your party members, and that way you can just basically train for free. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that every time you perform skills, you will accumulate one skill point per use. Now, of course, given the fact that leveling up most of the skills, especially certain skills that require 500 skill XP to get done, you're going to need some help for this. So I don't have any of my characters equipped, and that's because I'm going to be doing character guides in the near future. So to help you build up your skill XP, you'll need Warrior Seals. Warrior Seals will, when equipped, will give you an additional skill experience gain. So if you were to equip level 1 Warrior Seal and perform a skill, you'll gain 2 skill experience points instead of 1. And when we go back down, when you equip the other ones, like Warrior Seal 2, you'll get 2 skill experience instead of 1. So that means it'll go up to 3. This will give you 3, and then with usage of skill, that goes up to 4 with Warrior Seal 3. And with Warrior Seal 4, you'll get 4 skill XP. And equip that to your character and perform a skill, you'll get 5. Now, once Aaron joins the village and creates his craft shop, you'll be able to go to him for Warrior Seal 2, 3, and 4. Allison earlier on will give you access to Warrior Seals, regulars, and you can be able to craft those for your party members once you get them. So whenever you're building up skills, always have equipment like this to help build up your XP gain for them. Now there are certain accessories that you get towards in the game that help recover your SP gain. These blue capes and blue moon charms will help you get more SP gain when your HP is lower. Now, one thing that's pretty interesting is with the Devil's Mask or Demon Mask, it boosts up your skill damage, but you have to pay double for skill use. So if you have multiple ways to get your SP back up to speed, you'll definitely want to apply as much damage. You should definitely get a Demon Mask when the time allows. You can also use Athlete's Belts and also there's also another belt I didn't get yet, but they'll help you get more SP gain when attacked. And then there, of course, there's like Savage Mask that does the skill damage increase by 2.5, but it also doubles your cost. Fire's Helmets, which you can get from Dina's rarity shop, you'll be able to get more SP when doing a skill finish, plus 45 skill, 45 strength increase. Some of the accessories you do get will help you lower cost on SP use, like athlete rings, saint rings, and special stuff like Jewel Brooch, Ocean Hogeki, among others, and they'll help you get you more SP and get lower the amount of SP cost that you would normally use. But technically, you should always have anything that can help you cut down the cost of SP, especially when you're starting to get into later parts of the game where you have access to more powerful skills and you need to lower down the amount of SP for them. And you also want to get more SP wherever possible. Hey, Kama, how are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Doing a guide for skills on Ys VIII, and hope you enjoyed the stream thus far. So anyway, we're going to go to the item list because we don't have. We've already used all of them. We're looking for this right here, which is spirit elixirs. Spirit elixirs are special medicines that will boost your SP usage by 10 for each time you use them. Now, unfortunately, you cannot get them normally. Most of these you'll have to find through various means. You can win 3 of them through attaining S ranks on the normal raid battles that you'll encounter towards as you progress through the game. So you want to aim for S ranks on raid battles because you're going to mostly get these spirit elixirs. Some of the debris and rubble that you encounter in the game actually block off treasure chests leading to spirit elixirs. I know for a fact there's probably 2 of them, so you do need to make sure you rescue as many castaways so you can clear the pathway so you can get to these chests that do have the elixirs. Thanatos will give you a spirit elixir if you get him all 6 of the pirate's notes. That's after he joins the village. You can actually get one from Shoebill based on the amount of normal fish you give her, or it could be from some of the bigger fish. And you actually get 2 spirit elixirs for completing certain amount of percentage to the map that you get done too. So always be sure to fill out that map as soon as possible. And towards near the end of the game, Dina will have the last one for trading if you have the materials needed. So once you get all the materials, be sure to trade that for the last one. So basically, when you start off the game, you will have 100 SP to use. The rest of the skill meters you see here will be unlocked each time you use spirit elixirs. So they'll be blocked off in gray until then, and each time you do that, more skills you'll get an additional 10 skill points. So once you fully unlock it, you'll have about at least a grand total of 200 SP to use. This is very important to keep in mind. Now, we covered up pretty much all of what I needed to go over for the skills. It's time to go over through some miscellaneous for those that are interested about doing your skills. When you do charge attacks, until you get your SP, you probably won't be using the skill, but it's also a pretty cheap move too, because you can actually while you're getting your SP back, you're basically also not using any SP while you're performing skills. This is actually very useful for when you're trying to build up your skill levels. So when you do a charge attack and you have enough SP to perform the said skill, be sure to perform that right away, and that way you can get some more skill experience when you do that. Now, of course, like I said earlier, you should always use the camps. This is very important if you're going for playing on higher difficulties like Nightmare or Inferno, especially since the enemies will be at the most strongest. It does take quite a bit longer than you would do out on the field, but you'll be safe and you don't have to worry about overleveling your party. Now, of course, you can always rest at Castaway Village at Adol's Hammock, as well as the clinic bed. Those are very important too. So just keep in mind, you will never ever have to worry about running out of SP. If you're using a whole lot, don't hesitate to cook meals like the hearty Rotolia and the heartfelt Bolonzia, because those can help you recharge your SP during combat, but very gradually, but they won't last forever. Another thing to keep in mind, though, is that you can also take advantage of using raid battles to help build up your SP, too. Because during those battles, your SP will slowly regenerate during the course of the fight. So if your party or Dogi's team have very high morale, which means their blue meters overcoming the enemy's red, your HP and SP recovery rate improves. But when it's low, it's less. So don't be afraid to take full advantage of using practice rates to help build up your skills if you're willing to go through all that craziness. So anyway, that completes the skill guide for Ys VIII. It's just mostly bare bones details and mechanics. I think there's other people that could probably do a little bit more better job than I could. But since there's not really full detailed guides out and about the skill mechanics for the game, I figured I'd decide to get that out of the way. But eventually, we are going to be doing character guides. But I do need to finish up studying up on each of the characters. Make sure if any of the other party members have skills that give them status elements. Find out the levels for each character's accusations for the skill that they can start immediately sparking right after they achieve that level, and a few other things. So until then, I'm going to go ahead and cut down the stream. I will be back later on today for Final Fantasy V because we have Forge Off Fiesta is now out about again this time of year, and we are playing Geyser mode. We might be playing the other two modes as well, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close down for right now. I'll catch you all around 7 p.m. for the Forge Out Fiesta. We'll get started on that. I hope you all enjoy this guide, and hopefully it'll help you out in learning how to play Ys VIII a little bit better. Hopefully you'll do a way better job than I could. Anyway, this is Rotor Storm 331 signing off. Have a great day. Take care, and I will see you all next time.